Hello there, Leos. Welcome to your mid-October 2017 tarot reading. So, I have a really good, calm energy for you guys for the next 2 weeks. In the work environment, okay, so where you are right now at work, many of you might not feel like you want to stay there for the rest of your life. You might not feel like you want to create a career out of it. But either way, where you are right now, I feel like there's this zen, calm, soothing energy where you know exactly what you're supposed to do, so the work responsibilities just flow naturally. There isn't resistance from other people, there isn't conflict, there isn't, like destabilizing energy. You know where people are supposed to be, you know what you're supposed to do, and I feel like you're doing it without having to interrupt other people, without people interrupting you for guidance, for advice. So I feel like you're in the flow of things in the work front. I also feel like you command quite a bit of power, and it seems to me like the way, if you are working on a client base, so you're kind of like the face of the product or the face of the company, you have a really strong stage presence where people gravitate towards you, and you explain things very calmly, very clearly, very succinctly. And so your supervisors, your managers are kind of looking at this, and I feel like they want you to stay with them. It seems like they like the work that you do. They want you to stay with them, and they might even, I feel like in the February timeframe, solicit you for to apply for a higher position, or they might even want to offer you a higher position. They'll tell you, this is open, or it's going to be open. If you're interested, you should definitely check back with us and apply for that in the upcoming year. And I'm sensing, like I said earlier, many of you might not want to make this into a career. You might think that, oh, it's just something that I'm doing right now just to pass the time, but you're doing it well nonetheless. And because of that, you're getting really solid recognition. In the relationship sector, for those of you in relationships right now, there's going to be a little bit of a start-stop energy to the communication between you and a relationship partner. They're busy with a lot of stuff, okay? So if you're texting or calling and they're not answering, don't think the worst of it, okay? Just give them some time. They're dealing with finances. They're dealing with responsibilities. They're dealing with a lot of, I feel as well, legal issues that they need to sort out on their own. And so, be patient, okay? Just be very patient. I feel like there's an element of either emotional distance or even physical distance between you and a relationship partner. If there is physical distance, it could be, time differences. It could be, just a lot of responsibilities they're trying to sort through. If there is emotional distance, I also feel that you're giving a lot of yourself, but the other partner might be going through things, and it's like they come home, they take the work home with them, and they can't really, even though if they're physically there, emotionally, they're kind of like, their mind is bogged down with the work, with the next steps that they need to take in terms of work. So that's coming in, and it can be a little bit irritating. It can be frustrating that they're physically there, but they're not emotionally receptive or present towards you. I do see a lot of people going to see counselors, relationship counselors, marriage therapists, relationship therapists. There is going to be a breakthrough, but I also feel like if you're going through therapy, and if there has been accusations, like your partner might have accused you, oh, it's all your fault, or you might have been the one accusing them, it's all your fault. Well, the therapist is kind of splitting it down the middle. It's both people's fault. And so it's a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow. Do not get defensive. Hear people out and try to listen to, try to think, how have I contributed to this? Has the other person contributed to this? How can we resolve it? So, approaching things in a more receptive manner rather than a defensive manner is going to be crucial for the two of you. I also feel elements here about, unearthing, or at least like opening the floodgate when it comes to the relationship. Are we being faithful to each other? So some serious conversations here about past suspicions of infidelity or past infidelities coming up, so that you both can heal from it, so that you can both arrive at a truce and just, you know, let water under the bridge. Okay, let bygones be bygones and start over with each other. On the home front, I'm also sensing like they're saying like sharing space with too many people, which can create a little bit of an irritation, especially when people are not upholding their end of the bargain when it comes to, like, you know, paying rent on time, chipping in for the utilities. And I also feel as well, this sense of like relying on somebody to do something and then they're not able to do it. So that's coming in, you know, like relying on a roommate to feed a cat, and then you find out that the roommate just never came home for the weekend. Things like that. I feel like little things. And so expressing very clear boundaries and setting very clear boundaries between you and others in the household front is crucial. For many of you, the house is getting a little bit too big. So I'm sorry, the family is getting a little bit too big for the house. It's like more children, more people are being added without adequate room and space. So I feel like some of you are thinking about, you know, trying to get into a bigger house, trying to clear up some of your old debts so that your credit, like fixing your credit, or clearing up old debt so that you have, you know, the proper credit, so that you can either apply for a different apartment or try to chip in money to purchase a new house. Okay, so overall it looks good. The housing situation, I feel like there's some change that is needed, and I feel that it's going to be happening for you. The next year comes in very strongly. Relationships, be very patient with each other. You have some good things coming through, and I feel like the work is just going to flow really well. Okay, so I'll be back for the November reading. Take care of yourself, okay, Leos, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.